Please rise for the pledge and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Just so you know, the meeting is recorded. Approval of the January 11th, 2017 minutes. Do I have a motion for approving the minutes?
Having reviewed the minutes, I make a motion to approve them as presented.
Second.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll move on to the fiscal report. Judy Albach, please.
Cash in the general fund account is $1,594,756. In our Erie Bank general fund account that's restricted, $744,244 for a total of $2,339,000. Payments coming out of the general fund this week will be accounts payable of $260,343. An estimated payment for health care for the week is $65,000. The dental payment coming out bi-weekly this week will be $3,995. And we have a transfer being made to the bond debt fund of $30,994. That's representing the $1 million that's been collected on taxes that have committed in the last month, being moved over to that fund, leaving us a projected cash balance in the general fund of $1,234,424. And the 5 highest payments coming out of accounts payable this week would be $80,950.41 to Forest Warren Department of Human Services, $50,000 to the Warren Public Library, payment to P Corp for liability insurance of $26,966, payment to the Rouse Warren County Home for Rent of $13,750, and a contribution to WCCBI for $10,000. I should say contribution, subsidy, payment for the budget.
Move to approve the fiscal report. I'll second that.
Any further discussion or comments?
P Corp, how often we pay the liability insurance?
It's divided into 4 payments. It's not 4 even payments. We make one bigger payment and 3 smaller ones.
It looks like we're ahead from where we were last year as far as the general fund balance goes by a little less than $200,000. Do you have anything that you might attribute that to? I'm just asking generally.
I really don't know.
I'm just curious because that's a pretty, that's a good place to be. I was just wondering if there were some people who were waiting on it. Okay, thank you.
All in favor of the fiscal report as read, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll move on to appointment to the Warren County Redevelopment Authority. We are being asked to reappoint Carl Strand to a 5-year term on the Warren County Redevelopment Authority. This 5-year term began on January 1st, 2017 and expires December 31st, 2020. Do I have a motion to reappoint Carl Strand to the Warren County Redevelopment Authority?
So moved. I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Independent auditor agreement. We have contracted with the services of Drescher and Malecki to do our independent audit, and I am entertaining a motion here today to see if I can move to hire Drescher and Malecki to do our audit again for the 2016 year.
So I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
So I had a couple of questions that I probably should have asked Judy prior to this meeting. One of them is, as a part of the agreement, it talks about having complete completed, providing information on significant deficiencies or material weaknesses, if any, and other management comments by our a meeting in August. Does that seem realistic? I mean, considering, is that the meeting we had this past year where we met with them? Did that take place in August?
It took place later than August this last year due to the turnovers that they had in their staff. It actually should take place by August because we are required to be filed online by September 30th.
Is it worth it to review this proposal? I mean, to approve, to contract with them, but to review the proposal, to maybe have a conversation about what, or if there should be, some kind of stipulation in the contract related to them having this stuff completed in a timely fashion?
It is stated here in the agreement with them that we are signing. The commissioners meeting would take place in August. Maybe we can reach out to them, in the second quarter and confirm that, they're on target with their deadline.
Well, I guess I'm just asking is to get an understanding of what, if any, kind of, effect on how, we pay them, how we deal with them, or that there's some kind of clear line that we expect things to be done in a certain fashion, if that's worth it to have that discussion.
It does say in here that they're billed as their work progresses. So it looks as though we pay them as they complete
I
the
think
work.
the question is, what's the disciplinary stick that we use on them if they don't live up to it?
Yeah.
They did, are we
I
correct?
don't really think that there is a disciplinary action if it's not done by that time. And I will say last year's audit ran into all sorts of things. It would have been my first audit with Drescher and Malecki. We had a lot of cleanup from the prior year on things. And I'd add to that the turnover that they expected, not just 1, 2, but 3 positions that they lost unexpectedly during the course of our audit. I don't expect, I can't tell who's going to come, go, leave, whatever, but I don't expect to see the problems this year that we had last year in getting the information to them and getting them to complete their steps on it. As a matter of fact, Jordan is coming. No.
Okay.
We have a filing deadline of September 30th. It did not get filed until, I want to say Thanksgiving. Now, there isn't a penalty for not filing on time. It just basically notes that we filed by the September 30th deadline. Now, the prior year to that, we didn't file until sometime in November because the state had made changes to their system and said, we don't have things ready, so you won't be able to file. So it's not although September 30th is the date, it's not a penalty, a tax, or whatever else if it's not filed. But I see no reason why this year's should not be able to be completed. I think we're in better shape going into this year's audit than what we were last year.
Yeah, I definitely think that's good news and that's good to hear. And it's not even that I'm necessarily advocating for a penalty per se, but I think that having a conversation about what we can do, whether it be a penalty or an incentive or a discussion to kind of push them in the direction of having this done in a more timely fashion would be helpful. And I guess that's why I was just kind of asking, just to get that perspective.
Timely fashion is on both parts. It has to do with how quick I can get the information to them that they're requesting to, and every year's audit, they test and look at different things. So we can't say, okay, we know what they needed last year, so we'll have it all. They'll need some of what they needed last year, and then they'll look at new things this year that they didn't look at the prior year. But prior to the start of the audit, they will bring in a schedule as to what dates they tentatively set for having different things ready. If we meet getting it, if fiscal meets getting this information to them on that time, and they can complete their work, everything will be timely. So I think as far as in the planning stage, it's laid out as good as you can do, barring any unforeseen.
Yeah, I realize that it's a two-way street, and I realize that our ability to provide information to them, kind of dictates their ability to do their job, just generally speaking. But I guess as a part of the review of this agreement, just wanted to have a conversation about that. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Judy. Do I have a motion?
Yep.
All in favor of retaining the services of Joshua Malecki for the 2016 tax year, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to Resolution 3080, non-payment of liquid fuels for 2015. The Warren County Board of Commissioners allocated to local municipalities money from the county liquid fuel tax fund for the year 2015. We have agreed to contribute to each of the local municipalities the allocation set forth in Resolution 3043 on January 28, 2015. Each municipality was to apply for its allocation of liquid fuel funds by December 31st, 2015, and complete its MS 999 application for payment on or before January 31st, 2016. This township did not comply, this municipality did not comply with the rules set forth in the Resolution 3043. Therefore, they forfeit their 2015 liquid fuel funds in the amount of $550. Do I have a motion to adopt this Resolution 3080?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 3080.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Pam, could you talk a little bit about the Resolution 3043 and just the timeliness issue with the request for the funds?
In February, we set out the liquid fuels resolution that states what each municipality will get. They have till the end of the year to apply for their money. Then they have till the end of January the following year to complete the project, get approval from PennDOT, and then we would pay that project. If they don't comply, then we have to pass a resolution so that I can put that money back into the checking account.
So is that redistributed as part of the next payout? Okay.
All right. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Election IQ, quotes for primary and general elections. We met with our elections director, Lisa Rivet, at our work session on Monday, and she brought to us these quotes for Election IQ. This is for database, training, and tech support for our elections, the primary and the general. This quote is for $5,250. That is for the primary election period, and the other quote is for $4,000, the general election period. We carried on a conversation with Lisa, asking her questions in regard to the other companies that might be available to do this work. She had nothing but high praise for Election IQ. There was one other company which would charge the county considerably more. She recommends that we go with Election IQ in these quotes. Do I have a motion?
I move to accept the professional services of Election IQ in the two quotes dated January 18, 2017, amounts of $5,250 and $4,000.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
It's important to note just that what they do is provide technical services over the course of the election. Lisa, we have one elections director, that's the only person that's involved in that department, and then obviously there are people that are hired as a part of the election apparatus, but when it comes to like the technical work that's done, there's only so much that she can do to provide support to all of the polling locations in the county. And so what Election IQ does is provide additional support when there are problems with machines, when there's problems with whether it be technical or whether it be machinery, and so it's a vital service for the election to run smoothly, make sure that all of the machines function properly and that everything's counted properly.
All right. Do we have a motion? All in favor of Election IQ, please state aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Appointments to the Warren County Conservation District Board. I guess there's 3 appointments that are being made, public, a farmer, and a commissioner. There is a need for 3. As I said, the farmer would be Larry Upton, with his term expiring December 31st, 2020. The next would be David Miller, also farmer, also public, December 31st, 2020. And then myself, Cindy Morrison, as commissioner, term to expire December 31st, 2017. Do I have a motion to appoint these board members to the Conservation District Board?
I'll make a motion to approve the board members as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion?
So these are all reappointments, correct?
Yes. All in favor, state aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We have nothing else on the agenda today. We have people here with us today. Is there any concerns or questions that any of you may have? Please, your name?
My name is John Abel. Sorry for a little bronchitis.
Welcome, John.
I'm a North Warren resident, and I'm just here to express a concern about an oil well development that's taking place in North Warren that many of us residents have some concern about. And this is not a dig at the oil industry or anything. It's just about this particular well and how it's being engineered and where it was located. And I understand that DEP has permit responsibility for oil wells and apparently has been properly permitted. But the way it's been engineered, it's at around 230 South State Street. It's immediately south of 219. I'm not exactly sure of the address there because it gets a little complicated. It's immediately south of 219 South State Street. And what they've done is they've built up, they've gone out into an area that's very close to the creek. Some would call it a floodplain, but I believe it's more properly a floodway. It's part of the stream bed that is routinely filled with water. They built a platform there to get the oil well itself above the level of the water, flood water. And I have some photos here I can pass on to you if you'd like to see them. The immediate concern is that this platform that they've designed and built is in fact working as a dam. And during the recent high water, which was January 12th, 13th, when the creek was flooding, it was actually water was going over this particular structure. There was a prevalent smell of oil in all of North Warren, or at least along State Street that morning. I live on North State Street, about 4 blocks away. National Fuels came out with their detector to see if they were responsible for some kind of gas leak. And if you see somebody in a yellow raincoat in that picture, that's the National Fuels guy. I happened to talk to him. He said there was a sheen of oil in the water. I didn't think it was coming from that oil well. He thought it was coming from an orphan well that's on an island that's immediately upstream. There are a number of potential orphan wells upstream from there. I called the DEP response team. Someone did come out, a Marshall Wurst, and he also saw a sheen in the water. He called me and said he did not believe that that particular oil well was leaking, but it was probably coming from one of 5 orphaned wells that was on the island right across the stream from this well. So there are 2 problems. One, you can see the ponding that's occurring there on Sam Mass's property and beyond, going north, which is depriving them of use of their property. So the engineering is one thing. The other thing that we have heard in the neighborhood is that they're going to frack this well. And I personally heard 2 people with knowledge of oil well engineering that if they frack that well near an orphan well that's leaking or is unstable or improperly capped, that could pose a big problem. And since those orphan wells are right there in the middle of Conewango Creek, I think we can all agree that if that were to happen, and of course that would take an expert opinion, that would be not only an environmental hazard, but a health and safety hazard. I've heard that you can even blow some of the oil well material, the steel structure, out of the ground when that happens. The township's informed of this, and I believe also county zoning's been informed, but I just want to bring it to the attention of the board. I think it's one of those things that the residents of North Warren are going to come together around. It's one of those things that I think if it's poorly executed by the folks who are putting in the oil well, it's going to have a negative impact on our property values in North Warren. Actually, the well is pretty close to a bus stop for school kids. It's really the wrong location these days to put an oil well. If it were just a quarter mile downstream in the city of Warren, it wouldn't have been allowed because of ordinances, zoning ordinances that prevent oil wells in residential areas. We've also had some discussion in North Warren around whether or not that type of zoning ordinance ought to be adapted for North Warren as well. So those are my concerns, and I'll probably be communicating with one or all of you in the near future about this. We're also engaging the state and the entities that might have jurisdiction over various aspects of damming up Conewango Creek and having some environmental concern over the orphan wells on the island in the middle of Conewango Creek.
You did say they had the appropriate permitting?
Permit is posted. I was actually down there when DEP was there, I assume conducting an inspection. There are some things we don't know, such as whether or not that platform itself, that pad, was approved as part of the development permit. We know for a fact that the township, Conewango Township, rejected the stormwater plan, and for obvious reasons. Looking at those photos, you can see why. So they have not complied with township ordinances. And we don't know yet if they may have also violated state regulations against damming waterways.
Okay, not that I'm trying to pass the buck, but have you contacted your state legislators?
One of the interested parties has. They're in North Warren, and we're kind of waiting for them. And also, Congressman Thompson's office has been notified. Obviously, there's probably no direct federal jurisdiction there, so the state is probably where we're going to spend most of our efforts. But I do think that this is very likely going to come up in the zoning meeting this coming week. And like I said, I think one or more others from North Warren have made contact with county zoning already.
Do you have any questions from the board? Thank you, Mr. Abel, for bringing this to our attention.
Sure.
If you'd like us to be included on any meetings that you schedule, we'd be happy to attend.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right, with nothing further, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.